Well, today is January 6th, and it has been 4 years since the riot at the Capitol. 4 years ago, here at the U.S. Capitol, you're taking a live look there. People stormed the building trying to stop the count to certify the 2020 elections. In a few hours, Congress will meet at the Capitol today to formally certify Republican Donald Trump's election as president. And that is the last step before President-elect Trump's inauguration later this month. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington, where security around the Capitol remains high.
Today, Congress is set to certify Donald Trump's victory in the presidential election. Vice President Kamala Harris, in her capacity as Senate president, will certify her own loss as one of her last official acts. It comes on the anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. 4 years ago, then President Trump urged supporters to head to the Capitol to protest Congress's certification of Joe Biden's victory. Trump has promised to pardon some of the January 6th defendants during his first hours in office. Overnight, the U.S. Attorney's Office revealed it's evaluating whether to bring charges in roughly 200 new cases. Nearly 1,600 people have faced charges so far. Meanwhile, President Biden, reflecting on the end of his political career, urged newly elected Democratic members of Congress to invest in relationships and work across the aisle.
You don't have to give up your principles or your beliefs to build relationships, to compromise and reach a consensus.
But also reminding them to stand up for democracy.
It's your duty to tell the truth, to remember what happened, and not let January 6th be rewritten or even erased.
Security is much tighter around the Capitol than 4 years ago, with extensive fencing and new training in place. Law enforcement in Washington also preparing for the state funeral of former President Jimmy Carter. In addition to the National Guard, roughly 4,000 additional police officers from around the country traveled to the nation's capital to support D.C. police. Carter's body will remain in Atlanta through today before making the trip to D.C. for Thursday's funeral. President Biden will deliver the eulogy. A massive snowstorm hitting Washington today is not expected to impact the certification. Even with federal offices closed today, House Speaker Mike Johnson says the certification will go forward. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.